Welcome to tonight's episode of
Mythic Wyrd.
Before we get started, big shout out to
Dungeons and Candles.
our friends over at Dungeons and Candles for their epic candles. We do have one burning behind this skull. Check them out, guys, on Instagram.
Etsy, and that's it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Order your own custom-made candles with awesome scents. And remember to mention us when you guys speak to them. Anything else before we get started?
No.
Very exciting news coming next week. Keep a lookout in this general area. You guys will see it. We'll have some awesome news on our socials. We have a nice surprise coming. More about that next week.
I think you're going to be the audience.
Please don't.
I imagine that.
Awesome. All right. Last we left off, the Fate Chosen made their final preparations before facing trial in front of the Admiral panel and the survivors of this vicious civil war. Carlo, Drea, and Dario, you guys confronted the Four Swords, who were doing some mischief in the corner of the barrack den, gathering some ammunition and weapons. And once confronted, it was clear that they were putting together a plan. Should you guys fail the trial, they were planning to break you guys out by force.
Just out of curiosity, I'm just going to skip cut out anyway. Were you planning that this was going to end in a fight last session?
Maybe. Meanwhile, Björn, you contacted Skinkman, your uncle Eric, your father, and unwillingly the Ever Chosen, who, using his immense powers, overtook the apparition from your spell, reaching out and choking you before disappearing in a flash of violent energy as your father broke the connection and saved you. Not before long, Brock and his men entered the barrack den, getting ready to accompany you or escort you to the trial. Everyone but Harakai, you guys were led to a floating platform with a cage welded on it, while Harakai, you were taken to your own Admiral platform where you would go on trial and fight the case, being now an admiral. The trial proceeded with the party struggling to convince the other admirals. However, slowly gathering the support of the crowd below, the multiple clans slowly banding together, listening to your argument versus the money-hungry argument of Halvarik. After 2.5 hours of heated debate, the Fate Chosen finally won the hearts of the admirals and the crowd, leaving Admiral Halvorik furious. Taking matters into his own hands, he commanded his son Brock to shut up Thalion, who was spitting accusation arguments left, right, and centre, and refusing his order, he pulled out a pistol and shot Harakai in the back. With a thunderous roar and a flash of lightning, Athos appeared angelic, wearing master-forged armour. He healed Harakai's wounds, gifted him a bronze hammer, and shared some words with his old friends before disappearing in a flash of lightning again. In the insane moments leading towards that, you guys quickly reacted, trying to protect each other from the bullets. Björn, you use Misty Step to get behind Admiral Halvoric, while the rest of you guys quickly, in your own way, try to defend the group. Daria, you pushing buttons on the platform, trying to move it. Drea, you making a mud wall around the group. Kyla, you trying to reach your wounded friend. And Thalian, you protecting Drea, the weakest party member.
Take it away.
After the commotion ended, the fighting stopped underneath, and all eyes were on the young Admiral before your dear friend and once senior Captain Arvin took a knee and proclaimed you King Harakai, Lord of the Broken Fleets. Following suit, majority of the crowd bent the knee, accepting you as their new leader and finding faith in the young dwarf and seeing a future with you, Harakai. Hopefully a future that leads them out of their corrupted ways, back to their roots, and to honour once more. Anything else?
Just a question. With like what happened with Harakai, was that symbolic in some way? With the like for them to take a knee so quickly? Was there like was it prophesized or something?
It wasn't
Or was
prophesized, but seeing their old faith, you know, like with Athos coming down, handing him the hammer of Grungy, it was almost like he was the chosen one.
So
And-
the hammer is recognizable to them though?
Very, yeah.
And they, like, Athos was visible to all.
Yes, he was, yeah.
And
And it was clear that it was some kind of deity that had sent him. And once the hammer was passed over, there was no question that Grungy had chosen Harakai.
Another quick question. I did cast a spell. Did you want me to roll for it or just ignore it?
We will ignore it.
Okay.
Anything else? Did I miss anything? Anyone wants to add anything?
No, I think Halvoric didn't bow, right?
Halvoric did not bow, and there was a few other of his clansmen that didn't bow. And remember, a pistol was pulled on Brock as well.
A few others of Halvoric's clanmen didn't, so some did.
Some did, yeah. Yeah.
Did Brock get shot? Or is he in gun?
There was lots of gunshots,
Okay.
and currently all eyes are on Harakai.
Gotcha.
Any other questions?
Holy shit.
Does the, hold on, does the lock kick him straight away, or?
It will, yeah.
What clan was
Athos inspired some.
Probably.
the one that didn't bow? What clan?
Clan Arn.
And was it only Clan Arn that didn't, like majority of Clan Arn didn't bow? Or?
Yeah, like more than half bowed, and then maybe there would be one or two from other clans, but it was majority Clan Arn
Okay.
that didn't bow.
And Brock is from Clan Arn, isn't he?
Correct, and his father is Admiral Halvoric.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, we come back to the Fate Chosen. A scene of complete awe in front of you guys as all eyes slowly raise up. Clan members still bowed as I slowly look up at the now young King Harukai standing atop your platform with the bronze hammer of Grungy in your hand. Slowly, weapons are dropped by those that refuse to bow. And Halvoric struggles under your grasp. You're holding him tight, pistol underneath his chin. And you can hear the singe of his skin as the hot barrel burns his neck. Silence falls.
Sorry, just a quick question. Other than the people around the cage,
Mhm.
so generally the other dwarves,
Mhm.
are they in their full armor get up or just like their mag boot type thing?
Just their mag boots and their helmets.
Oh, so they do have helmets.
Yeah, or majority of them do. Harukai, as the silence stretches and the dwarves look up to you for leadership, answers, or directions, what do you do?
Harakai's gonna get up and walk to the front of his ship. And does he notice Brock's at gunpoint? Like,
You can look around if you like. Are you looking for Brock?
yeah.
Looking around to the cage with your friends in, you see Brock face down on the platform with the Sky Warden that you had previously encountered, that Bjorn had tied up. Pistol still aimed at him with the barrel smoking. Brock is lying motionless.
Harakai's, how far away is the platform?
About 300 feet away from your friends.
But like below me? Or?
No, on the same level as you. They're still floating.
Okay. Like, I wouldn't be able to, like, jump to there or...
No.
The gate's still open, isn't it? No?
I don't know, is the gate still?
It is.
Okay, Harakai's gonna run through.
But that would put you straight into the cage.
Okay. Cage is just made of metal, right? Okay. Harakai's gonna run through. And then just in a rush he's gonna push past whoever's there, and he's just going to grab like one of the bars, and you see it's almost like mercury or like some sort of liquid metal like pulses through his veins as his hand turns like glowing red, and then the metal in his hand just goes hot red, and then he uses the heat to separate the bars, and he's going to cast heat metal. And if he can make a big enough gap, he'll step through and get Brock.
As you're pulling the bars apart, make a strength check. You've heated them, but let's see if you can pull them apart.
He's king now.
18?
You groan as you slowly pull them apart. You hear the metal creaking and snapping in places. And just as you've made a gap big enough, the Sky Warden shifts his gun from Brock to you. You're not my king. And as he says that, the rest around him slowly shoulder their rifles again, pointing at you and the rest of your friends.
Stand down! I call out at this guy. Unless you want to see Admiral's brains all over this place.
The other clansmen turn to look at you, or the other guards turn to look at you, while the Sky Warden is just locked eyes with you. The guards look from you, Bjorn, back to the Sky Warden for some kind of direction.
I said stand down!
Make an intimidation check.
That's right.
Oh.
Oh my god, that's so fun. First roll.
Wait, you have a blood bond. Yes.
Don't you have 4 others?
17.
They take another second to look back before seven of them, one by one,
Just like to get in, so like lifting his head up more. Like he's a dwarf, so like.
almost ripping his head off. Yeah. Slowly drop their weapons. They don't put him down, but they no longer aiming them at you and take a couple steps back.
How's the rest of the crowd? Does anyone have weapons on them as well?
The Barrack Arn members do, but they've been disarmed and hands held up and all kind of rounded up to a corner at the moment, while the rest look up at you. Everyone's silent.
They've lowered their guns?
All except 3 around the Sky Warden.
Okay. Our guy's gonna continue walking to Brock slowly.
Not a step further.
Harikai's gonna ready an action and continue walking towards Brock.
What action are you ready?
I'm ready heat metal on the handle of his gun.
You don't have to touch it?
No.
Okay, and what's the trigger?
As soon as he raises his gun.
His gun's already raised at you,
Raise?
at your head.
We're gonna shoot you and we already figured out that there's no reaction, so we shoot. So
We can't do anything, can we?
Yeah.
We can.
Would anyone else like to do anything? As you guys see your friend at gunpoint while you guys slowly stand up, dusting yourselves off, yet still in the cage.
There's still 3 with their guns plus the Sky Warden.
Yeah.
And how big's the platform that they're standing on around the cave?
It's probably a meter larger than this room,
As in depth?
with both in depth and in width.
Okay, I might do that.
How many are there in total? So there's the Sky Warden.
3 others.
That's it? Just
Oh, and then there's 10 others that have dropped their weapons.
So how many still with their guns?
Only 3 plus a Sky Warden, so 4 total.
They're not far from us, are they? Like how?
No, they're like just outside the cage from
Yeah.
you guys.
The one with the weapons lower, they're only doing it because of.
Is the gap in the metal that Harakai has made, is that big enough for us to step through?
It's uncomfortable squeeze, but yeah, you would be able to squeeze through.
I'm gonna do something.
Go ahead.
Cal's gonna take a very deep breath. And in his head, he's thinking to himself that I can open up doors to lead to other places, and I can, cast haste, which double people's speed. And he's gonna put his hands up. And he's going to try something he hasn't done before. And he's going to focus on the weapons. And he's going to cast Animate Objects and all 10 guns. They all are under his control now.
Well, immediately. You don't have to roll for it or anything.
I'm going to take those guns and I'm going to focus real hard. And I'm going to flip it on them.
You cast a spell focusing your energy, reaching out, and once you feel connected to the 10 guns, you immediately pull all at the same time, pulling them from the grasps of the guards, and before they can react, the guns turn around and they freeze there, putting their hands up, looking uncertain as these guns float midair. Do you turn on any on the Sky Warden and the 3 guards that have their guns, or are you just turning each person's gun on their own?
On their own. So there's 10 people with guns?
10 people with guns, and then that have lowered their guns, and then there's 3 other guards, and then the Sky Warden. So you're taking their guns as well?
I would like to take their guns.
So taking all their guns as well, they all hover, aiming at all the heads of the guards around you guys as they all gasp and take a step back.
I got your back, Harakai. Oh, I've never done this before. This is different.
Thanks. Harakai's gonna just run up to Brock and
When he does, I'm
check his state.
gonna step through the cage,
Mm-hmm.
squeeze through the cage, and I'm gonna stand in front of the Sky Warden.
Okay.
Between him and Brock.
Sky Warden is currently glaring down at you, Harakai. He hasn't put his hands up. His hands are by his side as he just looks at you with loathsome intent.
Did you want me to?
Yeah, roll.
I'm okay.
Okay.
What levels was everyone's thing?
Mine was a level 2.
Mine was a level 5. And my thing jacked up by 5. My
You
thing jacked up by 5.
flip over Brock, flipping him on his side. His Aether Gold backpack not letting you flip him all the way around. And immediately as you flip him around, you see he's been shot through the collarbone. He's alive, but he's bleeding out and he's unconscious at the moment. As blood slowly pours down his armor, making a pool underneath him.
You see Harakai's going to pick up his hammer and look back to Brock, and you see like that mercury shoot through his forearm again as he places the hammer to the wound, and it's almost like molten gold starts to seep down to the top of the hammer and into the wound, and you see it steaming, and like audibly sizzling, but you see Brock is like doesn't seem to be in any pain. And I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds at third level.
Nice. Alright, roll for it. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm concentrating real hard.
Mm-hmm. Dario?
I'll run up. I'll grab a gun, if that's what you call it, and I'll kind of like stand next to Haruka, pointing a little bit towards.
Nice.
Drea is gonna go and stand next to Felwood and like make herself look bigger.
It's rude as I'm the
You go.
Yeah.
It's like those sticky toes.
Use 12.
You see the molten metal sizzling, and Brock for a second comes out of consciousness, and he grunts the words "father" before going out of consciousness again. The wound's been filled, and he's no longer bleeding, and he'll be all right. He just needs some time.
Haruka's just gonna look up at Halvoric. Is this what you wanted?
Traitor deserved it.
This is the guy I've got to come to.
No. Oh, sorry, Halvoric?
Yeah, and that's the father of Brock, isn't it?
Correct. He struggles against your grasp and looks over towards the cage and says nothing.
Is the money really worth it?
You've brought our doom to us all, child. You really think
Shut up, you haven't answered my question. Is the money worth it?
he scolds at you and says nothing?
The shackles that they put us in,
You guys aren't in shackles? Oh, yep.
is that like on their persons?
They do have a few different shackles, just some normal shackles, and then the the sky riggers, you can see, have those shackles on them. But the guys just have normal shackles with them.
I'm gonna grab or reach for the shackles on the Skyward.
Mm-hmm.
Does he make a move or anything?
He doesn't.
If I can just, before starting in, just pass Harry just put the hand up. You all have a choice now. We, and Haruka's going to gesture to the Fate Chosen and the rest of Sky City, are going to make some changes, and we're going to save our brethren. You can either join us or leave. If you leave and turn arms on one of us again, I can guarantee you won't be walking out alive again.
Make an intimidation check.
I can only hold
With
this.
advantage.
How long has it been since I've casted this spell?
How long did you hold it for?
A minute.
It is the last 15 seconds.
He gonna bring them all to like a center and just drop them.
In the cage, yep. Awesome. So you bring them in one by one, dropping them in the cage. As you release the spell, they clatter on the floor. As you're taking a deep breath, the guards slowly put down their arms, but none move.
My hands are on my knees and I'm a little bit bent over, exhausted. That was a heavy spell.
I got 15.
There's moments hesitation before all of the guards around you, one by one, starting with one, slowly sink to their knees, bowing their head to you, all except the Sky Warden.
Can I, like, are they Are they doing it just because they're in danger, or are they actually genuine?
Make an insight check. Meanwhile, Björn. I can make you rich, boy, he whispers to you.
What do you think about money?
All the wealth you want. Help me. You can buy the biggest patch of land, build a kingdom, get rich and fat.
I turn around so he can like hold him by his collar and come like this. I'm like, isn't it that your son over there in the pool of blood?
I disowned him the moment he disobeyed me.
I really close outside. Do you know what? I'm sick of terrible fathers. I'm just gonna throw off.
Ooh.
What? And you shove him off, his feet tripping behind him as he smacks against the rail, falling backwards, and you can see the moment of fear in his face, wide-eyed, his mouth gaping open as he tries to... something, his brain's just frozen. And there's a moment as you guys see him free-falling through the sky before he disappears. And then a few seconds later, you hear a massive crash. You look over the edge and you see him 3 stories down, body broken, on one of the bridges connecting 2 parts of the city.
Oh my god. Same times after the crash. Must start hearing up one. I'm going to tap the Skywarden by the collar.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you the way out then.
He has an 8th of gold backpack on.
When I have a way, I'm gonna fall to one day just to quick source of fun for them. So
Yep.
I'm going to start moving to the edge.
Don't you know, boy? Dwarves can fly.
Sorry, question. Eighth of gold backpacks, do they just have the eighth of gold in them, but
So
without the eighth
they're-
of gold they don't work?
What's that, sorry?
Like, do you know how we find the eighth of gold capsules?
Yep.
Without that, doesn't it work?
No, it's this whole balloon that is filled with it.
They have to activate it though, don't they?
They do, but they are, trained Sky Wardens. Like, if they've been trained when they're falling, to activate it, all these things.
I'll go up next to Dally and point my gun at him and say, but they're not bulletproof.
I'm going to slowly keep marching him to the edge. Just glaring at him.
What do you try and do? Intimidate him, or
To him?
How far from the edge am I?
less than a meter now?
Yeah.
Sure.
yeah,
Make an intimidation check.
Right, wait, it's time. What other people?
Just saying, I've done neither of these things.
21.
Yeah, well, like, we can stop it. We can stop that one at least.
Wait, so you're just walking to the edge at the moment, right?
He scoffs at you.
I'm just smoking at him.
Do you stop at the edge?
Am I still walking to the edge?
You're at the edge now.
I'm gonna stop at the edge, yeah.
You stop holding him at the edge as he defiantly looks at you.
Oh wait, you've grabbed him? I thought he was in the air.
And then, with a motion faster than expected from a dwarf, he reaches down, pulls out a dagger, and tries to attack you with it. Getting a 9.
I'm just expecting it. I just kind of hit it out the way. I grab his arm with the dagger.
It's inches away from your face as he reaches up and grabs your head and it's trying.
I come in closer. Time to fly, little birdie.
Dalian,
Go ahead, buddy.
Dalian, leave him. Leave him.
Oh, I intend to.
Bring him back. We've seen enough death.
Gonna take my free hand. I'm gonna grab the shackles off his belt.
Mm-hmm.
As you say, my lord. And I'm gonna shackle his hand with the dagger first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna violently sort of throw him around, twisting his arm behind him,
Mm-hmm.
and shackle his other arm.
Alright, you twist him, making him fall to one knee. As he does, he falls heavy before you pull out his other arm, before he can reach for anything else, and shackle him up tight. Pulling his arms behind his back uncomfortably as his pack is in the way, so you're almost shackling around his pack.
I'm gonna shove him towards Hancock.
He shoves him towards you as he falls on his face, using his shoulders and his head to kind of stand back up.
I'm gonna go behind him. As soon as he tries to stand up, I'm gonna put an arm on his shoulder, just to make sure.
As he's brought down heavy to his knees again in front of you. All 800 eyes are still on you.
Just so you know, I got a 15 for that insight check.
You got a what?
15 on the insight check for the rest of the people.
You feel that they're doing it because they're in danger. If they wanted to submit, they would have done it before. And you can tell that as they nervously look at each other, sideways glances, looking at the weapons, studying the group,
Okay.
hands slowly moving to whatever sidearms or melee weapons they have.
Okay. They have 8 packs on, right?
Not the guards, no, they're Arcanite warriors.
Okay. I'm gonna move to Skywarden.
Sorry, when Harakai does that, can I start going around to the rest and shackling the ones that knelt at the end?
Yep, so taking their own shackles and then shackling them with it. Yep.
And then I want to sort of, any loose sort of sidearms or anything, I want to throw into the cage with
Yep.
the rest of their weapons.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was going to say that too, so can I help that?
So you guys go around disarming the rest of them as you take their weapons, throwing them into the cage with Kyla, and making sure there's no danger.
The Skywarden, does he invest in
He does.
Okay.
He caught it.
Expecting everything.
Well, looks like you made your choice. You were placed in a world you know nothing about, just as I was, and Starfish. And Harakai's gonna walk behind him and judge how much gas he has in his thing. Because if he can, he wants to make sure there's enough gas, just as Harakai was when he went to the surface, so that he can just get to the surface, and then that's it.
Are you
You-
X-Men?
Judge, you turn around, checking the gauges on his back, and he's got enough to get there, and then a little bit more. Like, probably enough to make it a quarter of the way back.
And he's cuffed, right?
Yes, he is.
Can I set like a... I don't know if this is possible, but can I set like a timer on the cuffs or something?
These ones are just normal 8th gold cuffs. But you could come up with something of your own, if you like, or...
GPS type thing to navigate his eighth gold to the surface.
Yeah, I just don't want him to be able to control his eighth set on the way down, because then it'll just come back up. So, is there a way that Harakai can do some quick engineering to...
Make an intelligence check. With advantage.
That's 13?
You quickly examine his pack. It's a little bit newer than the ones that you've seen before. But it works on the same basic premise, and just by a minute brief inspection, you find the release valve that can release some gas, and you find a way to set a direction and then lock it from the back. Meaning the only way he would be able to stop or change direction is if he tinkered with it again, like got out, took off the backpack and unreleased those controls.
So
And it's almost like, you know, like, because they can cruise, like if they're going on long missions, they can set it to cruise so they can use their, you know, their weapons and stuff. So you can set it and then disable his controls from the front.
yeah. Let me do that. And I'm going to set the coordinates to where I was dropped off. Where I was first brought to the surface.
So what?
No.
I will be back. Trust me on that.
To be honest, I didn't want it to be like this. But if you're going to cause harm to me and everybody else around me, I have no choice.
And what are you going to do? You really believe you're going to save these people?
Guess there's only one way to find out. Give it a test. That guy's going to push you off.
You push him off and he falls probably about 80 feet before the aether balloon kicks in and slowly rises before pushing him off onto the mainland. And as he does, you can see him struggling, you know, trying to even just turn with his body, but every time he turns, the aether gold balloon corrects itself, pushing him back onto the course. And before long, he's yelling and cursing, screaming at you, cursing your name and your friends, vowing that he will be back. He will destroy you. And he'll get his revenge. Before the night sky slowly takes him and he disappears from view. An uproar of cheers and claps erupts from the Admiral deck below, as they all began chanting your name. King Harakai! King Harakai! King Harakai! King Harakai! All stomping their feet, pounding their chests all together. Whatever weapons they have shot up in the air in celebration. As once again the system is broken. And a new era ushered upon these people.
While this is all happening, can I go to the control panel
Mm-hmm.
and just see if I can...
Anyone else had a deja
This is
vu?
how we do it.
Flips it. Yes, you can if you like. Make an intelligence check.
I'm floating on this animal thing as well, right?
You are.
Can I steer it back? I don't know how it works.
Make an intelligence check to see if you can work the controls.
Is that just like a button?
No, it's not. The rest of the admirals are currently standing, watching you, all except
15?
now Gregor, who's still seated in his seat, watching you from where he is, slowly packing his pipe as he watches everything unfold.
Straight intelligence?
15. There's basic controls on it, and after a bit of a play, you figure out a way to not ascend or descend it, but glide it in the way that you want.
I'll make it back to the secret.
Okay. You have no idea what you're doing, but whether or not you wish to still press buttons or...
I think I've got it worked out, actually.
Oh.
And I'm going to pull leave it. I think
Wait,
takes us down.
Where is he? Is he like near me?
Yeah, he's on the prisoners board that you guys are on.
Okay. In that case, as soon as I see Harakai move towards the control tower, it's like, please leave it. I'll explain how it works in a second if you really want.
It's simple.
Just leave it now, please.
I'm going to call leave it, but I sort of give you a subtle glance to see if my hand's hovering in the right direction.
Oh shit, go ahead.
The panel, the lever that he's about to pull releases the mechanical door underneath your friends.
Oh my god.
I keep hovering it in a different direction.
Just don't touch anything, please.
As you say, my lord.
Right. Have I wrote that?
You have.
Archers, King Harakai. Trying to address your people.
Sorry. Just got one more thing to deal with. And Harakai's gonna look down at the rest of the people.
Who are currently still all chanting, pounding their feet and their chests.
Oh, I mean the barrack on.
Oh, yep.
And just gonna say to them, look, I know you probably don't like this whole Harakai King thing. To be honest, I don't really know how it happened either. So if you wish to join your Sky Warden, I can send you to the exact same coordinates. However, I'd really hope that you could help us rebuild what we've lost. So anyone that wants to leave, I'll set your pack right now.
No one speaks up and no one even makes eye contact with you. But based off that insight check, you still feel like they can't be quite trusted yet. And whether that means locking them up, executing them, exiling them, that's your decision to make.
Good deal. Sorry.
So, how many are left? There's 12?
13.
What are the other animals doing at this point?
They're all, like I said, they're all standing watching Harakai, except for Admiral Halgrago, who is currently still seated, watching everything. Now slowly puffing on his pipe.
Perhaps they can prove their loyalty in the fight against Obelisk.
What rank do these guys seem? Are they like high rank or are they mostly new?
There's one sergeant, but the rest are all privateers. So first rank of Arcanauts, yeah.
I really don't want to do that again. So, I'd be willing to make a compromise. How about you just try and get used to how this is going to work for a week or less if you really want. If you don't like it, you can leave. If you harm anyone, I'll make you leave. Or if you actually find that this new way's not so bad, you'd be more than welcome to say.
The sergeant looks up at you before nodding. Aye, we can do that.
And you know, just to be sure, throughout this week, you'll be monitored. Just to ensure that nobody gets hurt.
He slowly nods his head at you, but says nothing.
everyone below.
You can see the crowd is starting to quieten down as you approach. Those that didn't bow have been brought forward on their knees under rifle point, while the rest look up at you. You can see the four swords and Arvin and the rest of Giant's Bane in the middle, weapons out, holding about 20 to 30 warriors under gunpoint.
I believe it's time to rescue our brethren. So, here's how things are going to work. I need a strategist from each clan to meet with Dario Valendir and plot how we're going to engage the obelisk. Afterwards, I need Aether Chemists to return any injured or warriors that are unable to fight to the Barrack Arm Den so that they can be treated. Third, we all need supplies, so each clan shall go back to their den and gather whatever materials they can gather. Namely, I would like to test some unprocessed Aether Gold. After that, I think we should get our friends some actual weapons. What do you all say?
And they all again begin to clap, thundering their legs, beating their chests, as they all clamour, clapping, hitting each other on the backs before falling silent again.
Alright, everybody gear up, and here's to a future brighter than Aether Gold.
They all roar in approval, shooting whatever last weapons they have. The admirals smiling, nodding approval before they begin barking orders. Still seen as seniors in this new reformed civilization, they begin calling out names of Aether Chemists, people they think should go in front of Dario, and within 10 minutes the whole deck is a swarming mechanical engine of people bringing supplies, groups going in and out, the prisoners being taken below decks.
And if I can, if there's like a box or something, he's just going to say, and never be less than a group of 4. Remember that, we don't want anyone getting taken out alone. And then just this one.
And eventually the Admiral deck dissipates, leaving Arvin and his crew and the Four Swords. As the Four Swords meekly wave up at you guys. You're the king, Harakai!
Yeah. Apparently.
We should drink! Says Sid.
Of course, you'd say that.
Aren't you too young to... Maybe later.
Man, we're about to blow this place sky high. And they just pet the makeshift Meg Xerxes, whose fuse is still lit and sizzling,
Oh my god.
before Captain Arvin shakes his head and pulls out the fuse,
Oh my god.
throwing it overboard.
Alright, well. Special will get ready.
To drink!
No. To go to the obelisk.
All right now.
I mean, no time like the present.
We need more bombs. And they scutter off all together.
Meet back here, okay?
They've already gone.
Okay.
Are we still in the cage?
You got yeah, it's open though. I think
Is
you're
it,
the only one
like-
still in there.
High though? Or is
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you guys are still floating. Yeah.
I'm gonna lean with Clarify. And say, what about them? I'm gonna nod towards the admirals. You should probably meet with them now.
Should I? Is that what I do now? I'm not really sure.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm not really the lordly type here. I'm gonna look at Dahlia and Young.
What do I do? Do I meet with them?
I fuck up everything I touched.
Daniel, what do I do?
I think organize a meeting with the admirals.
Oh, and I hope it's alright. You meeting with those sergeants. I just thought you being the only one that's been there, maybe you could help them have some insight on how we approach it.
I think information is a good weapon at this point.
Well, is Arvin still there?
Yeah, the Giantsbane and his crew are still on the Admiral ship, waiting for you guys to come down, or you know, they clearly want to talk to you.
Alright. If you all want to go meet up with Giantsbane, hopefully they can get you prepped up and ready with some actual gear. Well, here goes nothing.
Just with your friend Brock. His father just went. We'll have questions. We'll be angry.
What does Harkin know about Brock and his relationship with Steph?
It's all profit based, you know, as long as, and it's clearly evident, as long as how Varric can profit from his son, then he is happy with him.
But what was Brock's thoughts on that? Like, did he like his dad, or was it more
Like every son to his father, he was always chasing his father's approval, and this would be one of the few, if not only, times he would have disobeyed his father, seeing that perhaps there was, you know, a broken system in place, but he would never wish death upon his father.
That's alright, I'll be able to handle it. Alright, well, see you all in a bit, I suppose.
So what's the plan? Or are you guys meeting up somewhere again? What's...
We'll meet back here once you're prepped up, and then I'll take you to the sergeant, or the strategists, and we'll go from that.
While this is all happening, Kelly's just checking, like he's walking around Drea and sort of checking her, make sure she didn't get shot.
I'm okay. Drea starts walking around Patrick, making sure he didn't get shot. Did he get shot?
Well, as is, yeah, he's taking a shot in his shoulder.
I'm okay. I'm gonna dig my finger into it
Oh.
halfways and try and get to the bullet.
Oh yeah.
I'm fine.
Just a little scratch.
Tiny. It's
Drea's gonna make up some good berries and just shove it in his face.
I don't think that's how food works, Dre.
This isn't food, trust me.
Nothing for me then. King.
Yes, actually, I do have something in mind for you.
Sure.
Yes, but
Because I'm more than happy to look and finally find the dwarf ladies.
okay.
I mean,
I'm sorry to tell you this, but We don't know where they are at the moment.
Goodness. Oh, ladies.
Well, obviously this whole civil war situation is sent off, and we usually maintain some sort of communication. However, I haven't been able to reach them. Also,
So all of those dwarves down there. Just a bunch of guys. Are you serious?
yes, I'm serious. What, did you expect us to leave him here and get shot? The
We're gonna
children
find
were
them.
with him too. Who was going to look after them?
Right, yes. Do not be look for them. Look for them.
No offense, but I don't think you'd be able to find them.
Alright.
But I do have something in mind. However, I first just want to talk to the strategists and Dario and see if it would work.
Yeah. I'll just be here.
I mean, you get to check out the Quadrant technology.
I'll do that.
Alright.
Dario puts his hand on John's shoulder and just says, "He can be your wine bearer."
Is this what loyalty means?
Wine better? What's a wine better?
He can get your drinks. A thirsty king's
I have a servant. You could use them for the time being. if you wish.
Let's save the drinks for after this is done. Alright. Let's be off.
Do we just jump off?
I just control it from like the control panel, right?
Yeah, you can lower it back down, where it's chained to, and it connects back to the main platform underneath.
Okay, I'll get behind it and start working on that.
As you guys are slowly lowered back to the barrack den, sorry, the admiral ship. This is probably the most activity you've seen on the city tops. As you see dwarves raiding areas, pulling out supplies, and without much order from Harukai, they each take up their own responsibilities. It's like a well-oiled machine. They know what needs to be done, and they begin setting up for the night's raid. That's where we'll take a quick break. So what's the plan? That's what D&D is about, son.
Oh, well, no.
Welcome back. So, Harukai, do you want to repeat those timeframes that you set?
Yeah, so prep for raiding the obelisk tonight, rest, and then after discussing with Dario and the strategists, decide when we'll attack it tomorrow.
Sorry, can you start again? I wasn't paying attention.
So tonight, yeah, and rest tonight.
What time is it?
Tonight.
It's not.
nine.
It's about 9.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so prepare and then rest.
Yeah.
Haragai's going to talk to Dario and the strategist, organize the best time to strike tomorrow, and then do that tomorrow.
Give some.
Do you want to mention as well that we are now level 9?
You guys are all level 9.
Just in case, like, give us some comment for this mention.
The Fate Chosen have now leveled up.
So, Dalian's strategy is he's going to sneak off through the night and attack the obelisk by himself.
What was that?
Are you being cruel? It's a suicide mission, dog.
No, no.
Alright, so we
I'm level 9 now.
Invincible.
Alright. So, as you guys all break away, Björn,
Yes.
where are you going?
Well, Dre would actually like to approach me.
You approach a staggered, very weary looking Björn.
Are you alright, Bjorn?
You're very, very fatigued. As the world spins around you, you have trouble keeping focus.
Yeah, just got pounding headache.
I've got something for that. Dre's gonna pull out just some normal healing herbs. Really
More
calming
grass.
herbs. More grass. Yeah.
What are you giving me?
You just eat the herbs.
Oh,
It'll help. It calms the nerves, so that will calm the headache.
I'm calm, just
No, but it will help with headache.
just need to rest.
Alright.
I try to sort of push past it. So I start walking away.
You push past her and start taking a few staggered steps before the world spins and the ground rushes up to meet you. And you fall hard on your face.
Not on my nose,
Shit.
but on my, like,
You turn the last second.
Is anyone else still around?
Everyone has left, just moved off.
Shit. Alright. Drea is going to.
That's the name I should.
Drea is going to turn into a camp. And she's going to like get under Bjorn and get him onto her back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll make my way to barracks with things down. Where we're supposed to be.
Hold up. I'm out of it?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
As he gets on your back, Az is trying to help you push him on there before he climbs up on his face and he's like across his nose, trying to wake him up.
Kyla's actually at the barracks with his dad at the moment. That's where all the injured people are.
I send
No?
the injured people to
Barrack Arm.
because I thought it was the most fortified at the moment, right?
Correct.
Barrack Arms. That's where he is at the moment.
And what are you doing?
Is the people where most opposed you as well. Okay.
Yeah. And what do you want to do there, Kyla?
Help him out any way I can.
Okay. Easy. Dario, what are you doing?
How far away am I from Bjorn?
You've already moved off, and this happened out of sight. So what's your plan for the night? And where do you want to go? Who do you want to meet?
So my plan for the night is later on I'll get some rest. But I'm going to find some like a quill and some parchment, write a letter, and then try and think back on what happened when I was taken, so I have the best information to give when strategizing.
Yep.
And probably gear up.
Okay. All right. Dalian, what are you doing?
What's Harakai doing? So,
Okay. First off, going to talk to the animals and see what their thoughts and ideas are.
okay, so while you're talking to animals, Dalian's going to be sort of in the background, just watching intently from far away. And every time the animal or Harakai look at him, he's going to pretend he's inspecting the architecture and the surrounding landscapes.
So where did you want the admirals to meet you?
I was just going to meet them, like,
Atop the Admiral ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to say what else I plan to do throughout the night, or? Okay, so I want to do that. I want to get my gear. I want to talk to Dario and the strategists. I want to talk to an aether chemist to see if afflicting aether bite is possible on like a normal, like on an organism on purpose. And then, what else? I think that's it.
Alright, so throughout the night, Dalian's gonna very unconspicuously, thinking that he's being inconspicuous, just be roaming around, sort of floating
And sorry,
nearby.
one more thing. When at some point he wants to go to Brunson and with the castaway
Okay.
with people, of course, not by himself.
Okay.
Throughout the night also, if you want us to go out, I'd like to talk to Az and try and experiment with the empty aether bottle she got to try and make, like, put the poison in there, somehow capture it.
Mhm.
She can make, like, bombs or something.
Okay.
Where did you dump me?
With me, I bagged with me. Like, I'll put you on a wall and, like, sit with you or something
What-
until you
What
come
sort
to
of a night is it? Is it relatively clear sky?
It's a clear sky, very cold, with minimal cloud coverage.
Okay. Once Harakai goes to rest, if there's an edge nearby and look over it, is it clear enough to see or sense any sort of bodies of water?
It's too far to see or sense, too far up in the sky. And even though there's minimal cloud coverage, there would be lower hanging clouds underneath you guys.
Sorry, are we doing like a time skip thing? Like, oh, okay. Well, Kyla's probably going to spend a fair bit of time here, helping as much as he can at the barracks. Yeah, the
Barracan, yep.
Yeah.
Like healing up and stuff, people.
Just as much as like he doesn't have any means to heal, but I'm sure there's means to heal in this area that he could maybe like watch and then try to like.
All right, I need you to make a medicine check. Dario, I need you to make a history check.
After that though, do you want me to do this first?
And so, just to clarify, so anything that looks like it may even slightly be a threat to Harakai,
Yeah.
Dalian's just going to try and intervene before it gets to Harakai, even if it's not a threat.
Yeah.
A fly.
Sorry, and just a couple more things Harakai wants to do. At the end of the night, he wants to. He wants everyone to be there for the meeting, just to specify that. And when he's
What time is the meeting set for?
Roughly, like, how long will Harakai gauge it for people to like get their gear and stuff ready?
At least a couple of hours, probably 2 to 3 hours.
Alright, 2 hours from then.
So it'd be about midnight that you want everyone to meet up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And then before he rests, he wants to specifically meet up with Phaedrus.
Okay.
Can I just start with chaos?
Yeah.
It's the same roll. 6.
And does that mean you roll on the chart?
Not for time chaos.
Okay. All right. You help out as best you can, but then you're quickly put to kind of mundane tasks like washing bandages, bringing bandages, like more like fetch and carry tasks, as you realise there's a bit more experienced people to deal with the wounds and stuff, but still your help is needed in that area, but maybe just not on hands-on cutting off limbs and stitching and stuff like that.
Okay, after a short while then, after a little bit, Kyla's going to go gear up, as Harakai was saying.
Yep.
And then after that, he's going to go find a room where he can try to understand his powers, understand why he just moved those guns. Yeah, he's going to experiment, and he's also going to try to experiment with these elemental spells.
Okay.
Yeah. We saw Drea doing poison,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to see if he can transmute his own spells
Okay.
into different substances.
Okay. Nice. What'd you get?
I got 11.
11. All right. After you write your note, you sit down on one piece of paper, trying to sketch out from memory as best you can. You know, numbers, hallways, the area around. You know what you saw in there, and it was a real hazy, hard time for you. So you get a little bit on piece of paper, but it's all questionable on how accurate it is. What you do remember though is that the hallways all around and leading up to the obelisk are all infested, and you know would all be choke points and dangerous areas for going through. Like you recognize that you definitely need the numbers there to hold hallways while a group, probably the Fate Chosen, make their way into the den so they're not ambushed from behind and things like that. Drea, you the aether canisters that you have, the empty ones, you're quickly able to discharge your poison in there, filling them up and putting the stopper back on, making a makeshift Molotov before you. Where are you? In the barracks, Ilfin?
Yeah, so I would have taken you on there and then just like sat with it until you
Okay.
came to.
Before there's a couple of people going in and out, and you're approached by an older looking dwarf with multitude of tools, needles, canisters. It almost looks like some kind of witch doctor, but more modern, as he strodes up to you in his armor. He watches you for a few seconds before, without saying a word, holds his hand out to you and motions to one of the canisters. He examines it before handing it back to you, pulling out a metal tube that he quickly begins work on. He moves away and you can hear him cutting, welding, and just generally working on this piece of metal before he approaches you again. And you can see some kind of makeshift, almost, cannon with a large barrel that folds down, and he goes and grabs one of your empty glasses, puts it in, and closes the barrel on it before turning around and with a sharp pop shoots it out as the glass canister goes tumbling into the air about 200 feet and smashes on the ground.
So cool.
He nods in approval before turning it around and handing it to you.
The gun to me? The
Yeah.
cannon?
Yeah.
I was
And he shows you before he hands it, opening up, and the canisters fit perfectly in the back. And there's a hinge there which closes up, and there's the big hammer which attaches to a spring, allowing it to be spring shot
That's so
out.
cool.
That's really
Does he
That's
speak at all?
He does not say a word.
When Drea takes it, just gonna be like, quite an inventor. I'm Drea.
He doesn't take your hand, but takes out a piece of paper, scribbles on it, and hands it back to you. On the paper, the name Crescent Sorton is written.
Preston Sorton?
Nice to meet you. I cannot speak.
That's okay. Do you know, I have a friend called Cressida and she can't speak. But actually, I think I made her up. At first, when she first came to me, let me tell you, I thought I was dying. And I thought, yep, I'm hallucinating. I made this up.
He picks
Nice.
up a piece of paper, scribbles something on there, hands it back to you. I have to go.
I hope we meet soon.
He gives you a sharp nod before walking off.
I keep his paper in my bag. Oh, that time to be on. Is it loud?
He is, and he's sweating profusely.
I would like to do a medicine check on him. A medicine check. 19.
Put your hand on his head, and he definitely has a fever. Checking his other vital signs, his breathing, his heartbeat is slow. And as you call out his name, his eyes slowly flutter open. But there's a sharp... You're taken aback, and you quickly remove your hand, as there's no pupils, and it's pure white.
What the fuck?
That's in my eyes are rolled up.
Stabbing.
No, they're more like there's that disease where like skin grows over your eyes. It's kind of like that, but it's more like a creamy white mucus over his eyes.
Kind of like a second eyelid.
Kind of, but more liquidy. And Björn, as you open your eyes, the world around you is a haunting, desolate place. You're propped up against the wall with no one else around you except a small baby child.
Where's the baby?
Where?
Where's the child?
Beside you, lying on the floor.
How old?
Less than 10 months.
What's my surroundings look like?
It looks like you're in the airship, but it's abandoned, empty. The power's off, trash litters the place, and there's a terrible whooshing sound as it's all a haze of... It's not natural. It is like a ghost version of this world. The baby coos at you as it slowly, as it tugs at one of your laces
On the floor.
on the floor next to where you're sitting.
Is this a dream? And I'll go down, reach out for the baby and try and touch her.
It reaches up at the same time and brushes your hand as it giggles and spits drool dripping down its face.
Do you know what's going on, baby?
It coos at you again before looking around and then noticing a piece of its clothing that it picks up and it sticks in its mouth.
Don't want that in there. Give it.
You pull it away from it and it starts crying.
Just looking around to see if there's anyone.
There's no one. Your voice echoes
Hello?
as it echoes through the hole.
Who left this baby here? Also, where is this?
Make an investigation check.
Investigation?
Yes.
24. Wait, I get advantage on investigation. If it's related to fey things or undead.
No, just go with that roll. You clearly recognize this area as the Barracks Ilfin Den. But it's different. It's washed out. And empty and abandoned, yet you can hear echoes in the distance. Whispers, but there's nothing there. The place looks like it's been abandoned for hundreds of years. But then in places it looks pristine. Like it's like you left it. And it's all a mismatch wash of grey and blue. Imagine like you're Frodo and you've just put on the ring. As this whooshing sound roars around you. The baby continues to cry.
Alright, alright. We'll find someone. Has to be someone around here, right? There's what's bloody going on. Well, pick one. But very awkwardly.
You pick up the baby almost, not dropping it, but it quietens before looking at you, cooing again as it gives you a toothless smile and giggle as it rubs its face against your hands.
Very trusting, aren't you? Someone should train that out with you. And I was like, awkwardly like, forward to my body. Well, should we have a look around? What do you say?
You look down at the baby and
I'm like, almost like rapidly talking, like I'm kind of scared, but I don't really, like, this is me putting on a brave face in front of a baby for some reason.
make a perception check.
-2.
You look down at the baby and it's... the way it's dressed is feminine, with a little skirt made out of an old used sack, a little Hessian beanie on her head. But the most interesting thing is a mark on the inside of her forearm.
What's that?
You hold her arm as she coos and plays with bits of your clothes. You hold her arm, holding it to the dim light. And horrified, you see the face of... the skeletal face of a crow cut into her flesh.
Oh. Do I recognize this? Do you know what this is?
You wake up. And you're awkwardly holding Drea. In like a baby in your arms as is on her chest, hands on his hips, disapprovingly looking at you. As your eyes clear up.
What were we doing?
His eyes clear up.
You can put me down.
Yes. Put you down.
Right.
I'll take a quick look around.
There's a few dwarves awkwardly looking at you before one says, "Well, if it's the night, I suppose this is the one." And they chuckle to themselves, walking off.
I just don't even register. I was looking around under where we were sitting.
Nothing.
Did you see a baby?
A baby.
A young baby, weird mark on her arm. She had a weird beanie on.
I heard the babies all got sent away. Right?
No, there was one here. Lost.
Yeah.
Someone left it. It got left behind. Right?
There was no baby. You said it was had a weird mark?
How did we get here?
Do you mean to the bag siphon?
Yes. No?
Oh, you passed out and I carried you here.
I
Yeah.
passed out.
Yeah, just.
Oh, yes. Right.
And then your eyes were all glossy, it was kind of weird.
Eyes were what?
White! Glossy! Nothing! There!
Are they now?
As you put your hand like that, Az runs up your arm and grabs both the eyelids and stretches them open, and you can just see his snout in your face.
Is there anything? I'm just like. Is there anything I can like see my reflection?
There's a few polished plates on the benches in the den.
No, so grab one and try and get good lighting on it.
They look normal.
Are you alright?
Am I right?
Yeah?
Am I right?
Yeah, you
Can
feel
I-
fine.
Can I do a history check to see if Dre has obviously encountered this before?
Go ahead.
Or with like 17.
Never before. That was the first time that you see
Oh.
anything like that, and while he was in that state, he seemed to be seeing something that you weren't seeing before. He awkwardly picked you up and held you close in his arms,
Yeah.
mumbling to himself, but the words weren't quite clear. But he was completely awake, but seeing something you weren't.
Did you see something else? Did you see the bag siphon? You said there was a baby. Was there everyone else
No,
around?
there's nothing. No one.
What was it like this?
Just look around again. No, much shittier. Much shittier than this, yes. And, felt weird.
Weird how?
Like, it had been abandoned long ago. That's what he said. Yeah. But at the same time, I could hear whispers in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was probably just a weird dream, right?
You weren't dreaming. Justin.
I hate this place.
Me too. Do you want me to guess you? I mean, you never know. It could be the worm.
Do you think it's one of those things?
I don't know.
Oh god. I hate bugs.
I mean, the offer's there if you want it. You want me to do it? Wait, before I guess you, did anything weird happen? Is there any circumstance that
What
the
was
worm
that?
could have gotten into you?
What?
The worm?
I don't know how these things work. It could. I feel fine. find Dario and we ask him if he saw any babies.
Yeah.
If you see a baby, I'll let you guess him, right? Fuck me, let's go.
What did the baby look like?
Huh?
What did the baby look like? As like Trey was walking with him.
I'm talking
Was
about
it
exact
just a
details
baby?
or just.
Other than there was a female baby, and that stood out the most.
Is it like a dwarfish baby like that?
Make a history check.
That, my friend, is a 27 in 19 as well.
The last thing that you remembered after looking at her scar, it almost seems like a distant memory now, but as you try to recall as best you can, something did stand out around the baby's neck. A pendant. You stop in your tracks as Drea continues to babble and walk forward.
Yeah, the last thing I was trying to do for a workout was see if I recognize that symbol as well. On my arm.
The symbol quickly shot out your mind when you saw the pendant. And it was shocking enough to almost wake you. Well, it did wake you from this trance. And the pendant was boulders around the baby's neck.
I knew it. I knew it. I know what this is.
Oh. Like the one that I got from Mother.
Mother?
Looks very similar to the one you're wearing now.
You're talking about the crystal one, yeah?
The wolf one.
Oh, the wolf one.
The Ulfen crest.
Oh, anyway.
How are you good there?
So this will baby girl. Was it just the orphan crest or was it my father's? Do I know?
It was your father's.
She had my father's necklace.
Your father's necklace.
Pendant. My father wore the orphan crest. That's good, right?
Yeah? But you have female family members, right?
Do you mean, do I have a sister? I'm an only child.
You don't have aunts or
Yes.
cousins?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was one of those. Well, it's,
Who knows? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you can't fit them in.
Make an insight check.
like, I don't know. Wait.
Make a deception check.
Whoa!
Wait, what?
Perception? Also, you guys. 17.
Maybe you had an aunt.
Why would I be seeing a baby version of my aunt?
I don't know. Maybe you were dreaming. You said it yourself.
Yes. She said before I wasn't very. Did I catch all that?
Yeah, she seems a little on edge.
actually busy with the bombs. You can go ask Dari yourself.
Thank you.
Andrea's just gonna go back to her little quarter.
Like anyone would pick up on that shit, right?
You did it apparently.
17-year-old.
To Björn, she is acting very strange and on edge. And dismissive. It's up to you whether or not you want to press that further.
Do it.
Can I press it?
Yeah,
She's acting weird.
yeah. She's walking away from you now.
Alright. Drea. What do you have against my father?
Your father. You mean the other chosen?
Yes. It's more personal, isn't it? I've always seemed to have some sort of vendetta against him.
Doesn't everyone have a vendetta against Kate?
But what's your reason?
I've told you my reason.
Make another investigation check with advantage.
Investigation?
Investigation this time.
Are you fucking with me? That was gonna be a natural 20, but it's like slightly cracked.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely.
If it- Otherwise, it is a 26.
Oh.
Come with me.
Oh my god. With me? No, he's trying. What the fuck is going on, Joe? Why are you putting babies in my hair?
Hey, your sister?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
What?
What?
Right.
Doesn't she have a crow?
Yeah, she
on
has
her
the
arm?
crow thing on her
Does she
arm.
have a crow?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does. That was Drea.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the first thing we
no.
noticed about her. Like, why are you only on?
Oh, what the
What?
shit?
So is she like a
What the fuck? No.
What
the
shit?
Hell no.
Maybe that's the real reason she joined the Fate Chosen. Like to get to you? Maybe? I don't know.
Told her to have a girlfriend?
Yeah. For the first time, you look at Drea's arms, and she's wearing two thick bracelets on either arm, but your eyes slowly drift to her left arm, and you realize for the first time underneath that bracelet, for the first time you notice just the edge of a worn bandage underneath it, wrapped underneath the thick bracelet, covering something on the inside of her forearm.
What? You're blowing my mind. What the fuck? Alright. What's the last thing I said?
What was your reason? As in,
I'm gonna take a step forward and be like, why are you here, Drea?
I've said it so many times. I want to save the world, just like all of you.
Why seek out the fate chosen? Take a step forward. I don't know how far she is from it.
I don't know. Maybe I just heard about you guys and all the havoc that you wreak.
How did you hear about us? We only just created the name. The day before you arrived. I take that step forward.
Word of mouth?
Am I within reaching distance?
You are.
Yes, naturally left side.
With lightning quick speed, You reach out, grabbing her left arm hard. Her skinny wrist easily enveloped by your hand as you grip tight.
What are you doing? Let go.
I just gotta reach for the bandage.
As you do, Az runs down from her shoulder, standing on a bandage on all fours, and hisses at you with furious intent.
Where is he?
On her arm, he ran down from her shoulder onto her arm, where your hand is, and is hissing at you. For the first time, hostile against one of the other Fate Chosen.
I'm right to know. Am I gonna prestidigitation? I'm just gonna light, like just tickle my finger. I'm just gonna light, just burn the bandage.
Wow.
Az runs furious and starts to, with little success, pat out and spit on the fire before he runs up to your arm and bites you. You don't even feel it as he sinks his little teeth, smaller than needles, into your forearm. Your eyes are fixed intently on the burning bandage as the bracelet catches fire. The threads between it slowly burn away. The bracelet falls, showing scratch marks underneath the burning bandage. And the edge of a face of a crow scratched into it.
Just gonna look over my hands like something. I'm like, no. How could? I don't understand.
You had no right. You had no right. Andre, is there any of the bandages left on the floor?
There is.
Dre tries to re-bandage it almost.
Who are you?
Andre.
Who are you?
I am Treya.
Fine. I'm gonna reach out and light it up.
But doesn't she
Drea,
have a hole or anything?
make a will check. A will saving throw against his spell saving DC.
Oh shit.
Father said that.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
Crazy.
Wait, wisdom? What am I doing?
Will saving throw.
Where's the wheel?
Oh, wisdom saving throw, sorry.
Oh, if you don't actually look what it is.
12.
What's your spell save DC?
16.
You hear her screams.
So this is, I don't know, I'm just assuming you're still playing it the way you're playing it.
You hear her screams as you pierce her mind, going through, first of all, her surface thoughts that are protective, defensive, and angry. There's something deeper lurking behind, and as you pierce through, you see flashes. It's night. And there's a hooded man standing over a small baby child. She coos at him, happy, still awake at this hour. As the man reaches or bends down, smiling at her. He plays with her a little bit, gives her his finger that she tugs at, sticks it in her mouth as he brushes her hair. Eventually, he scoops her up. He's warm and he smells like horse, but there's something strangely comforting about him. Next, he's walking with her at night in a cold forest. He's got her huddled and wrapped in his cloak up against his chest, before he stops at a tree. He places her on the soft moss, doing his best to keep her warm before he slowly kneels down beside her. He studies her for a while as she coos, plays with his cloak, before a leaf from the tree protrudes above her. She grabs it, pulling at it, before finally pulling the leaf free. And she goes to stick it in her mouth before he gently pulls it away from her. He slowly lowers his hood. And you see through the baby's eyes the face of your father.
Oh wow.
In his hand, the moonlight glints off a sharpened blade. And as best he can, and as softly as he can, he brings it to her forearm. There's searing pain as she cries out. And then she's in front of a tent. Her arms burning. And they stand out there for a good 15, 20 minutes. The man still 100 meters away from the tent as he just stands there, hesitating, before he finally approaches and makes his way in. The baby cries. She doesn't like it here. There's a sour taste on her tongue. She can't remember what it is, but after the searing pain, something was poured down her throat. She wakes up in this cold tent, scared, alone, as she cries out. Something in the shadows approaches her. An old, withered hag. She picks up the baby, studying it roughly as she hangs it from one leg, before finally grabbing it, turning the baby's head, and sinks its teeth into the baby's neck. It screams out in pain, dropping the baby back in the makeshift bed. She's older now. She's currently crushing up herbs for her mother, as a generous, most loving face of a woman comes in with fresh herbs. She studies her work. She gives her a kiss on the forehead before her little cousin runs in. She's given something by the mother to drop off to her father at the blacksmith shop. As she runs over, hands it to her father, who picks her up, scruffles her hair. There's something chasing her and her cousin now. Through the forest, she's screaming. The short kitchen knife does nothing against these great, hairy beasts as they chase down, cutting people, burning villages and towns behind them. They've caught up to them now, and she puts her cousin behind her, standing defiant with this kitchen blade in front of her. She gets knocked to the side easily by this great horned, hooven beast. And the last thing she can remember, as she faints is the screams of her cousin as she's butchered to pieces. She's in a temple now. A great reptilian beast sits cross-legged on a throne made of pure gold. He speaks to her into her mind. There isn't much time left as the world burns and crashes around her. A gate suddenly opens up between them, and the girl is older now. She readies herself, taking one final breath before she runs towards the gate. The mystical opening whooshing and screaming in front of her. She launches herself in front of her, and at the last second, something jumps and clings to her shoulder. A little lizard hides itself in her clothes. And then there's searing pain. Cuts all over her body. Lacerations begin to form as she screams. They cut at her body, demons reaching out with their claws, lacerating her, before she finally lands on the other side, bloodied, bruised, bleeding. Her only companion, a small lizard that tries to keep her warm in the night as she tries to regain her strength, licking at her wounds. She studies the mark on her forearm again. Fresh scratches from her nails from the many times she's tried to claw it out. Before she turns her attention again to a portrait, a group of individuals. It's rough, painted with charcoal in a finger. But you clearly recognize yourself in the rest of the fate chosen there. It's almost as if she notices you in her mind as she stands up, looking around. She puts her hands to her head and she screams out. And you're thrown back into your body. Your eyes fluttering back. Andrea stands in front of you, furious, with tears streaming down her face. And that's where we'll end tonight's session. Join us next time to find out the truth about Drea's Stone.
What? Holy fuck. Oh my god.
Hi guys, it's Mira, aka Drea Stone. Thank you for watching this episode of our campaign. Please like, comment and subscribe and keep spreading the Mythic Wyrd.